YouTube? It's me, Bergie, and I'm here with another 2020 beginning of the year video. In this video, I'll be talking about all of my 2020 anticipated releases, which surprisingly is a lot. Last year, I only had a handful, and even though I'm really only super excited for 2 books this year, I was able to find a whole bunch of other ones that I'll be interested in reading, even though I might not pick them up right away. But anyway, here they are. Now I'm going to start with my 2 most anticipated releases that I know I'm going to pick up the second they come out, and I'm going to read them the second I get my hands on them. The first one is my most anticipated one of all time, and that is The King of Crows by Loba Bray. This is the 4th and final book in her Diviners series, which I'm so obsessed with. I just can't wait. It's gonna kill me, I know. I know I'm not going to handle it well. I'm gonna have all the feels, but I just cannot wait for this book to come out. Yeah, I've been rereading the Diviners books starting in November 2019 and continuing on into January. And I already know that the weekend before this comes out, which it comes out February 4th, so I have like a week and a half, I think, upon filming this to wait. But oh my god, I've been planning on reading them around like the 20s of each month from November to January. I did that in November. I was able to hold off until around Christmas time in December, but then the 3rd book I picked up on New Year's Eve, I think, because I just couldn't wait. And now I've been waiting a couple of weeks, and it's been killing me to wait this long for the next book in the series. So I definitely know I'm going to be like binging the first 3 books the weekend before the 4th one comes out, if possible, just so that way I can experience the world again, because I love this series so much. It's definitely a new favorite. But anyway, if you don't know, this is a paranormal series set in 1920s New York, which follows a whole cast of characters, primarily Evie, but we also have some other characters that we follow, which is diverse, very diverse, and not in the way that it makes you be like, oh, she's just adding all this diversity for the sake of diversity. No, these characters feel real and not like just an add-in to be, as the kids say today, woke. Like, it feels real because, of course, like New York City, even in the 1920s, was very diverse and had people of different nationalities and everything there. So it feels real, and I love it so much. These are also a little bit horror-y. I mean, not really scary, but like enough that you're like, oh, wow. It's very unexpected. And I love this series so much, and I'm going to be picking it up the day it comes out and reading it right then, if possible. So yeah, I'm so looking forward to The King of Crows by Loba Bray, book 4 in the Diviners Quartet. And now my other most anticipated one, which really you would think I would be more anxious for, but I'm not, is The Tower of Nero by Rick Riordan. This does not have a set publication date. The last time I checked, it just says fall 2020, but if I would have to guess, it would probably be within the 1st or 2nd week of October that it's going to be published. This is the 5th and final book in his Trials of Apollo series. Now, this is Rick Riordan. Again, you would expect me to be jumping out of my seat waiting for this book to come out, but to be honest, I'm not. I can't wait for this book to come. I mean, I'm still awaiting it. But with this series, I haven't been loving it as much as his other Greek-inspired mythology books. And I don't know if it's just the series or if it's because I'm growing out of middle grade or what. I haven't been as excited for this conclusion as I have been for previous Rick Riordan books. That being said, still gonna pick it up the day it comes out, still going to read it the second I can, but I'm just not as excited for it. I don't know what it is. But anyway, this is his third Greek-related series. I really should make a Rick Riordan whole video talking about it, because I do love his book so much, and you can't go into this series without having read his other Greek books. Or I think his other mythology-based books. But yeah, I don't know why I'm not more excited for it. I really should be, but I'm just not. But I'm still gonna pick it up. I'm still gonna pick it up and read it the second I can. So yeah, like I said, that's the Tower of Nero, book 5 in the Trials of Apollo series by Rick Riordan. It comes out sometime in fall 2020. Now for the other books that I'm interested in. Now, I don't have a lot of information about most of these books, so I'll try to be as informative as I can, but if I'm not, please bear with me. So the first one is The Night Country by Melissa Albert, which comes out January 7th, so when this is posted, it is already out. I read her first book, The Hazelwood, and was pretty meh about it, but I was interested enough to pick up the second book. Now, I might wait until it comes out in my library, because again, I didn't love it enough that I would necessarily want to buy the book, or at least not full price, but I'm still interested in reading it. This is basically a fairy tale based book set in modern times that's kind of really dark, and yeah, I'm interested in how it continues, because I'm pretty sure this was The Hazelwood was intended as a standalone, and just because of its success was given a second book. I mean, I might be wrong, but I'm pretty sure that's what happened. So yeah, I'd like to see what happens in that second book. The next one is Race to the Sun by Rebecca Roanhorse. This came out January 14th and is part of Rick Riordan's Presents imprint. I have been collecting all of the first books to his Rick Riordan Presents imprint, but unfortunately I haven't had much luck with them. I'm pretty sure I have 5 of them. I've read 4, and all of them had pretty meh ratings, so it's not looking pretty good for my enjoyment of these books, but I'm still going to pick them up because I love what they're doing. In his Rick Riordan Presents imprint, Rick Riordan basically finds diverse authors to tell stories about their own cultures, mythologies, and I just love that. He's giving people a platform to be able to get their culture's stories out, and I just love that so much. And I will continue supporting them, but they need to start getting better, because I'm just so heartbroken that I haven't loved one yet. Like I said, though, I still have one that I bought, or that I got for Christmas last year that I haven't read, so I'm hoping that'll start changing the tide of how things are going. I'm also really interested, though, in Race to the Sun by Rebecca Roanhorse, because her other series, The Trail of Lightning, has been getting a lot of praise, so I think she should be a great writer, although we can't really compare because her first series, Trail of Lightning, is an adult series, and Race to the Sun is obviously a middle grade series, so just because you're good in one reading level doesn't mean you're going to be awesome in another, so I'm very wary, but I'm looking forward to reading that and picking it up. Next is Upright Woman Wanted by Sarah Gailey. This also comes out on February 4th. I've heard about this from other booktubers who are doing their most anticipated releases of 2020 video. I think Jean Bookish Thoughts was one who mentioned it, and I think there were a handful of others. They've been saying that this is a dystopian with kick-ass librarians. The whole librarian thing, that kind of librarian dystopian, that gripped me, and I was like, yeah, I kind of want to check this out. This might not be a book that I pick up on release date, primarily because on February 4th I'm getting The King of Crows by Lilba Bray, but this will definitely be one I keep on my radar in order to read when it's available from my library. Next is Mazes of Power by Juliet Wade, which also comes out on February 4th. It seems like February 4th is a really big day for releases. But anyway, this is the start of a new series. Again, it's another book that I've heard other booktubers talk about that made me want to keep an eye out on it. I don't really know or remember what they said, and I don't have my phone with me because I'm filming on my phone, and I don't have my laptop open to look it up more, so this will be one that I'll have the book cover here and just mention that I'm kind of interested in reading. Next is House of Earth and Blood by Sarah J. Maas, which comes out March 3rd. This is the start of her new series. I think it's Crescent City, it's called. And yeah, people have been getting arcs for it and being very hyped about this new Sarah J. Maas book. And even though I've only really read her Court of Thorns and Roses series, I did like it enough, and I am interested to see where she goes with this new book, because I think this is strictly adult while her other books have been new adult. Now, I don't know how much it's going to change how she writes or what she includes in her books, but I'm still interested in it. I might also, because of this, I might start rereading and then continuing with her other series, which I'm forgetting the name of this at this moment, but I did start it. I read the first 3 books in that series. I just wasn't loving it as much as her Court and Thorns of Roses series. But yeah, so anyway, I am looking forward to this book. Again, not going to pick it up right when it comes out. Probably will wait until it comes out of my library and see if I like it or not. But it's also a huge book, so I need to make time for that one. So I'm gonna wait. I think for that one I would wait until summer to read it, but I don't know. So there's that, which again is House of Earth and Blood by Sarah J. Maas, and it comes out March 3rd. Now, the next book that I'm interested in is The Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes by Suzanne Collins, which comes out May 19th. Upon filming this video, we have found out that it is going to be a prequel about President Snow, which, oh, I should have mentioned, this is the prequel to the Hunger Games series by Suzanne Collins, and again, we just found out it's going to be about President Snow. I must confess that I'm not as intrigued about it now, but I'm still interested enough that I'm going to pick it up. This might be a book that I actually buy to read, because not only will I be interested in it, but my mom, who also read the Hunger Games, will be interested in it, so we'll probably get a copy somehow. And read it relatively close to its release date. But yeah, even before I found out what this book was about, I wasn't really anxious to read it, because I the Hunger Games, even though it's a good series, like it's a really good series, it's not one that I obsess over. It was kind of good when I read it, and then I forget about it. Yeah, so I don't know, I just, it's nice to get something more from this world and to get something more from Suzanne Collins, but it's a meh. I'm not overly eager for it, but whatever. And that's The Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes by Suzanne Collins, which comes out May 19th. Next is Or What You Will by Jo Walton, which comes out July 7th. The main reason that I put this on my list is because it's Jo Walton, and last year I read and loved, for the most part, her Thessaly series, and I really just want to read anything that she puts out, and I figured it might be a good idea to do her most recent, and then at some point, whether it be before this comes out or after, to start reading her backlist titles. But this was another one that I saw on, I think, Jean's Bookish Thoughts channel, and yeah, I don't really know much about it. I just love Jo Walton's writing and would like to read more from her. So again, that's Or What You Will by Jo Walton, and comes out July 7th. Next is another Rick Riordan Presents imprint book, and that's Paulo, Santiago, and the River of Tears by Taylor K. Mejia. I'm sorry, I most definitely butchered that name, but that comes out August 4th. Everything I said for Races to the Sun by Rebecca Roanhouse kind of applies for this. I'm really hoping this will be the Rick Riordan Presents book that makes me love it and doesn't make me feel kind of shamed or shameful. Don't really know much about this one. I think this is another Hispanic related one, kind of like J.C. Cervantes' book, but I don't know where exactly this culture is coming from. I really should have looked it up more, but I'll talk to you guys about it. I definitely plan on doing a review on all of the Rick Riordan Presents books that I've read so far, and to continue that on when I read more. But yeah, so I am looking forward to that. Probably will buy it. Next is Darius the Great Deserves Better by Adib Khorram, which comes out August 25th. This is the sequel to Darius the Great Is Not Okay, which is a contemporary book that I read. Was it 2018? I think it was 2018. I read it as an ARC and I absolutely loved it. It was such a great young adult contemporary book that dealt with friendship, mental illness, and feeling disassociated with your culture, but also feeling like a misfit in your new culture, I guess, or like in the world you live in now. And I really related to that, and I really enjoyed that book. It's one of my favorite YA contemporaries. But yeah, I didn't know that this was going to be a series, and I found out randomly. I don't even know how I figured out that there was going to be a second book, but I'm so glad because I really enjoyed the first book, and it talked about a lot of topics that I find are not handled really well in YA or really any books. So I'm interested to see how this one turns out, and I really hope it's really good. Again, that's Darius the Great Deserves Better by Adib Khorram, and comes out August 25th. Then on September 15th comes To Sleep in a Sea of Stars by Christopher Paolini. I think out of these other ones that I'm just somewhat interested in, this one is the highest amount of interest because it's a new Christopher Paolini book. He hasn't written a book since the Fourth Inheritance Cycle book, and I love those books, which again, those are a series that I really would love to reread at some point soon, and this might be the nudge that prompts me to do so. But from what I've heard, To Sleep in a Sea of Stars is science fiction rather than fantasy, so I'm interested to see how he tackles this new genre. But other than that, I don't know much. I don't even think there's much more out about it, but I'm really excited to read it because, like I said, I loved his Inheritance Cycle, which I read years ago. So yeah, I'd like to see how he writes now. So that's To Sleep in a Sea of Stars by Christopher Paolini, and comes out September 15th. There's only 2 more now. Thank goodness. The next one is another Rick Riordan Presents. It's called City of the Play God by Sarwat Chada. Again, I'm sorry if I pronounced that name wrong. This does not have a set date. It just says fall 2020. So I'm guessing that'll probably be around November because yeah, I feel like Rick Riordan's book is going to be coming out in October. So I have a feeling this will come out in November of this year. I'm not sure which culture this will be taking inspiration from, but like I said, I pick up every first book in a new Rick Riordan Presents imprint series. So this will just be added. And I think I'll do the 3 that come out in 2020 alongside Tristan Strong, Punches a Hole in the Universe. I'll do a review with those, and then I'll do relatively soon, hopefully, a review with all of the earlier imprint books. So yeah, that's City of the Play God by Sarwat Chada, coming in fall of 2020. And then finally, there is an unknown book in the Take Them to the Stars series by Sylvain Neuvel, which is coming out sometime in 2020. Not a lot of information about it, but I read Sylvain Neuvel's Themis Files and also his short novel, The Test, and for the most part I really enjoyed it, so I would like to continue reading anything that he puts out. So I'm thinking this will be another sci-fi series. So yeah, I'm very interested to see what it is and when it comes out. But yeah, so those are all of the books that I'm interested in that are being released in 2020. You can definitely expect me to pick up The King of Crows by Loba Bry as soon as it comes out because I am obsessed with that series. Same with any Rick Riordan related books, whether it be his own book, The Tower of Nero, or the Rick Riordan Present imprint books. But other than that, the other books, I'll wait until they're available at my library. So yeah, those are the books I'm excited for. Let me know any books you're really obsessing over and can't wait for them to be released, because I'll definitely love adding other books to that list because, as I said, I'm really only anticipating 2 out of the number that I listed in this video, and I really would like to get back into being obsessed with the book. Like, since like, The Diviners has been the first series that I've been obsessed over in a long time, a really long time, and I kind of miss that feeling. So let me know some series, I guess, that are or have been coming out and being released that you are obsessing over to get me obsessed with it, because I miss that feeling. But anyway, again, I'm rambling. I'll see you guys in my next video. So yeah, bye.